Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight with your award-winning host, Dale Davidson. Dale interviews fascinating guests from top-ranked celebrities to people just like you who have an important story to tell. For more than 15 years, Dale is broadcast every week from the fabulous Las Vegas Strip. He finds the people who really make Las Vegas a one-of-a-kind city and lets the world know just what's happening in this remarkable town. You'll discover why 50 million people visit the entertainment capital of the world every year. Stay tuned for another exciting episode of Las Vegas Tonight.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. Thanks for tuning in. You'll really be glad you did today because Amonte drummer Henry is with us today. And boy, he's got a great life story. Amonte, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it very
Yes, sir.
much. So how'd you get the nickname drummer?
So I've been playing drums since I was 2 years old.
2?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
My dad was a professional drummer.
Right.
Played for a host of artists, multiple bands, toured the world, and I came out the womb just beating on everything. And my mom.
You
and my
heard
dad,
it when you were in utero.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And my dad, he named me after his dad's middle name, which was Amonte, and that's how I got my name.
Oh, okay.
Amonte.
That's great. Who'd your dad play for? What bands?
Tower, Power, Spire, Gyra, Earth, Wind, Fire, toured with the Gap Band, his own band, Searchlight, and a host of other different bands. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So did you actually take lessons from your dad?
I did.
Yeah, and
did.
What did he teach you that was really extra special?
Always to stay in the pocket. Don't try to do too much. Less is more. And always be on time. Study your craft. Learn your rudiments. And be professional.
Oh, okay. Those are all good life lessons anyway,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So where did you grow up? Tell me about your childhood.
So I grew up in the city of Los Angeles.
Okay.
South Central.
Tough neighborhood.
Yeah, very tough.
Yeah.
My dad was loving, he was cool. Just me, I was rebellious.
Oh, yeah.
I ran the streets a lot. I ran away from home to the point where I wind up taking my dad's gun to school one day because a kid was bullying me.
Oh, wow.
And luckily, the kid went on a school field trip that day, and I remember it was a Friday.
Yes.
And so I ran and tried to go find my dad's gun, and I wound up finding it, so I tried to take it home. Me letting the curiosity get the best of me, I pulled it out, and I was looking at it, and the gun went off.
Wow.
And it blew a big hole in this lady's yard, and my stupid self winds up falling. And the lady comes out screaming, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm fine." So I get up, I collect myself, and I take off running. This lady chases me, and everybody else is now coming out of their house.
Yeah, because they heard it.
Because they thought it was a M80, which it can sound like a cannon.
Yes.
Or a gunshot.
Yeah.
So me not knowing nothing about guns, I'm 12 years old.
Yes.
I tried to hide it under a rock. And yes, the lady finds it. She calls the police. The police locked me up, and that was my very first time of going to jail,
Right.
juvenile hall.
Wow.
And I was there for 2 weeks until my court date.
Yes.
And my dad came and got me. And I got whooped by every family member in my house.
They all took turns.
You're talking about my mom, my dad, my auntie. I deserved it, though.
Yeah.
I deserved it.
It was a dumb thing.
It was very, very dumb.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that it just spiraled into a whirlwind of hurt, pain, unnecessary stuff.
You started to run with a gang, I understand. At that point, right?
Not just running with the gang, which is a big part of my story,
Yes.
but being just in and out of juvenile hall,
Right.
being a troublemaker,
Right.
like just unnecessary stuff.
Right.
And when I was locked up, that's when I did run into my gang, which was the East Coast Crips.
And you got recruited at that point?
I got
You
recruited.
were in the youth authority at that time?
No, I was in Los Padrinos,
Oh, okay.
juvenile hall.
Juvenile hall. Okay.
Yeah. So because I was so young at the time, I was only 12. So they didn't send me to California Youth Authority until I was going on 17.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So from 12 to 17, I was in and out of juvenile hall, in and out of foster care. I was in and out of group homes. I was in and out of juvenile camps, Camp McNuns, Camp Jarvis.
Yeah.
I even went to the camp that they made a movie about, Camp Kilpatrick.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Wow.
so they made a movie about that. I actually played football for them.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. So, but that was the camp that I graduated from. That I got to go home.
Yeah.
Because I remember they wanted me to finish off the season, but the season was 9 months, so I would have had to stay in the camp for extended of 9 months when I was going home in 3.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna go home.
I'm gonna go home. Yeah.
So I went home. I was already recruited in the East Coast, and yeah, when I came home, it was rain. It was just a rain. Like I was ripping around in the streets, just doing anything and everything that I wanted to do, and
really undisciplined and
undisciplined.
How were things at home? Were your parents angry with you at the time? And
they tried not to be, and they really tried to do the best that they could with me.
Yeah.
You know, I look back on it now because I really put them through a lot.
Yes.
I really put them through so much that I didn't even need to put them through.
Yes.
I wind up running away again, and when I did this time, I got locked up for a burglary charge, and they sentenced me to camp, and I was doing good in camp because it was more like a military, like boot camp.
Oh, I see.
So they had sergeants, they had platoon sergeants, they had the XO, the RO,
right.
And then they had the company commander.
Right.
I wind up working myself all the way up to company commander, which was, and we had 2 sides. So we had the A, B, and then we had the C and D. Okay. So it was like 4 platoons, and I wound up working myself all the way up to where I was the commander of all 4 platoons.
Wow.
So I've always wanted to be in the military. I've always wanted to be in some type of law enforcement. Like my dad was always in law enforcement. So.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. From LAPD to working at a security officer, but he was the head of security for Daniel Freeman Memorial Hospital before they closed it down in Inglewood.
You got a chance to do both of those things.
I actually got a chance to do both of those. So that's later on down the road.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yes, sir.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
So I wind up going back to court, and this time I'm out, and my dad, my judge, and my biological mom, Yamila, she came to my last court date, and My dad told the judge, because I still didn't have good grades and I was still doing what Amonte Jonathan wanted to do.
That's him.
He told the judge that no, he needs a learning lesson. And he told the judge, yeah, I don't think I can handle him anymore. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want him.
How old were you then?
I was about 16, 17.
Yeah.
About 17.
Yeah.
My mom, she pleaded with the judge to let me come out to St. Louis. And yeah, the judge said because my mom didn't have custody of me and I was under the custody of my dad,
Yeah.
that he was going to go with what my dad recommended. So the judge recommended me to go to CYA, California Youth Authority, which is a baby prison for juveniles.
Right.
Yeah, I was sentenced to 1 year in California Youth Authority. And because of my gang, of my gang that I was affiliated with at the time, I had a lot of enemies. So that 1 year turned into 3 years. So I wound up being in there for 3 years, 3.5 years.
Because you got into fights and things like that.
I kept getting into fights, and one thing about being there is that if one fight, we all fight.
Oh, really?
So that's how it is, and especially with black gangs and Hispanic gangs and everything. So if it's one thing if we're fighting amongst ourselves, then that's something different. But when we're fighting another race, yeah, that's a whole different ball game.
They all get together.
They all get together, and yeah. So I remember this one time I was in class, and that I just asked a simple question, like, if someone is a green light, why is it that y'all can confront us about being a green light and we can't confront y'all about being a green light?
What does that mean?
So basically a green light is when you're green lighted, you get attacked from everybody.
Really?
Yeah, like if there's a rule on the streets where if you're in a drive-by or if you're about to go shoot someone, no women, no children, no any of that. But if you break that rule and you shoot a child, the mother, because you're trying to get at your enemy, then you become green light.
I see.
You become green light for everybody.
I see. Wow.
So, but the rules have changed now. I don't know what the rules are. I haven't been in it, been in that lifestyle for a long time.
That's good.
So the rules could have changed. I'm not sure, but at that present time when I was in that classroom, about 4 Mexicans jumped up and tried to and rushed me. Luckily, I had some people in the classroom that were on my side as well. So, it was just like a riot, basically. So it was those days. It was something interesting, but it was an experience. It was scary. It was because some people,
you didn't know if you were going to be alive the next day.
I didn't know exactly.
Yeah.
Some people don't make it out of that. Some people definitely do not make it out of that.
Yeah.
So I wind up graduating California Youth Authority. Okay. I wind up going home. This was probably the hardest part of my life. This was early 2007. I came home 10 days, so probably like around about April the 2nd, April the 3rd.
Right.
My dad was in the hospital. I never thought that would be the last time that I see him.
Wow.
So every day, me and my mom We would always go up to the hospital. We would sit there for hours, just me just talking to my dad, my mom talking to my dad, us talking to the doctors. And the day that he had surgery, because he was supposed to get his foot amputated. He had an infection in his foot.
Oh, I
so
see.
It had spread so bad that it was no other way to save his foot.
Oh,
so
I see.
The doctor came and told us that my dad was in recovery. And then about 2 hours later, they told me and my mom that my dad had passed.
Wow. What a sad, sad time.
Yeah. But I find comfort in the last words that my dad said to me was that he was like, "Son, I'm proud of you and I love you." So,
that's nice. That's nice. We're going to take a brief break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how your life changed 180 degrees for the better.
Yes, sir.
And where you're at now.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
be back with Amonte right after this. Hi, I'm Dale Davidson, host of Las Vegas Tonight. You know, radio has an enduring place in the heart of America. Sometimes it's music that can enliven your spirit or keep you company when you need some. More often for me, it's just been the right spoken word or two that can quiet my mind and soul. Radio brings me a reassuring word in the quiet of night or a welcoming voice early in the morning as I shake off the night's sleep and find my way into God's purpose for my day. And always, I find the best radio station is the one that brings me the best news, the gospel of Jesus Christ. My favorite radio station is KKVV in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's still right where it's been for years, at 1060 on the AM dial, hovering over Sin City like a gospel airship, broadcasting the good news of the abounding love that Jesus Christ has for every single one of us. No matter who you are or where you live, you can receive God's Word via the KKVV Gospel Airship. Just go to kkvv.com and click on Listen Live. KKVV is using all the tools that God's provided them, like podcasting and video streaming and video on demand, to produce programs that lift up our fellow believers and save the lost. If you feel a calling to speak to others about Jesus Christ on your very own show, pick up the phone and call the station. They'll be happy to tell you how. Call KKVV today at 702-731-5588 or drop them an email at kkvvradio@hotmail.com. Please join me in becoming part of the KKVV family. You'll be glad you did. Welcome back. We have Amonte drummer Henry with us today, and we had a very touching first segment, and we'll continue with his story and your life. You said during the break, you said something I think really profound.
Yes, sir.
About your relationship with your dad.
Yes, sir.
You want to repeat that?
Yes, sir. If any of the kids that's out there right now, cherish your parents, because you only get one. And the life that I lived and the stuff that I did, the stuff that I put them through, it wasn't worth it. Because at the end, when it's their time to go, that's it. There's no second chances. There's no repeats. There's no any of that. I lost my dad at 19. and I only got to spend 10 days with him after I got out of jail. And I wish I could have done a lot of stuff different. I wish I would have never took my dad's gun. I wish I would have never. It's a lot of wishes or what I would have, could have, should have done that I can't take back. I can't repeat it. I can't go back in time. I can't do any of that. You know, if you're living this type of lifestyle, don't. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth putting your parents through the heartache. It's not worth putting your parents through, you know, any of it. Because once they're gone, you're gonna be wishing that you never did it. You know, it's a hard pill to swallow for me, but luckily for me, I've actually changed my life around.
You certainly have.
I have.
Yeah.
From becoming a gang member to being in and out of jail to ripping and running the streets to doing a bunch of stuff that I had no business doing.
Yeah, that's right.
To becoming a professional musician.
Yeah.
And also a law enforcement officer. I was a police officer.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I have changed my life totally around, and I have given my life to Christ. So
That's wonderful. Tell us, let's go on from there. Tell us how that happened. How did you find Christ and accept him in your heart?
After my dad passed, I stopped playing drums for 2 years.
Really?
2 years straight.
Because of your grief and that sort of thing.
I couldn't take it. Me and my dad, we had so many plans. He was going to be my manager. He was, no offense to my manager. I love you, Heidi. But my dad, he was supposed to be my manager.
Right.
And because he had so many connections in the music industry and everything, my career, if he was still living today, my career would probably be a lot farther than what it is now.
Right.
And that's an understatement.
Yeah.
Really. So fast forward, I wind up getting in contact with my sister. My sister, Crystal, she was in St. Louis.
Right.
My little brother, Andre, he was in St. Louis. And, you know, they was having trouble with my little brother at the time. So I told my little brother, you know what? I love you. So if I need to come out there, I will. And I moved to St. Louis January 29th, 2009.
Okay.
And I was in St. Louis for 10 years. For 10 years. And
you were about 20 when you moved there? So?
I was 21.
21, okay.
I had just turned 21. My birthday was January 14th. So 2 weeks after my birthday, I had to wind up moving to St. Louis.
Yeah, your little brother needed some mentoring.
He definitely needed some male guidance. So I wind up going there. My mom introduced me to this one church, was True Love Divine.
Okay.
That was the first church that I ever wind up going to. And then the pastor was really strict. He was really strict. So I wind up going to this one church called Perpetual Life with one of my cousins, and it more felt like I was at home.
Okay.
And that was Bishop Bingham.
Okay.
Pastor Bingham. And I stayed there for 4 years.
Okay.
I stayed there for 4 years. I was the drummer.
You were playing in the praise band.
I was playing in the praise team, the choir, all of that.
Yeah.
And then my life took a turn. I wind up getting into a little bit of trouble out there. I got into a little bit of trouble, and it cost me my freedom for a couple of months because my mom was dating this one guy, and he was an alcoholic, and he had my sisters and my niece and nephews in the car while he was intoxicated.
Uh-oh.
And he got mad because my mom wouldn't give him any of the tax money, so he tried to burn our house down. And
That's pretty extreme.
To see my mama cry, I'm the definition of an alpha male when it comes to my family.
Right. Protective.
I'm very, 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 very protective. So to see my mama cry, and plus he stayed next door with his niece. Yeah. Me and my brother Sam, we wound up going over there. I kicked the door in.
Wailed on him.
Yeah, just did damage. And when the police came, they were all in agreement. They all said, we understand why you did it, but you did it the wrong way. So, they were going to charge my brother as the aggressor, and I was like, nah, that's not gonna be it for me, because it's like my brother, he's not about this life. He's not about this life. He hasn't been in the gang. He doesn't know the streets. He's never really been to jail. He doesn't know nothing about this life. So I wound up taking the charge. I said, nah, he wasn't the aggressor. I was.
Right.
So I took the charge, and we both got it knocked down to a misdemeanor.
Right.
And so we wind up going on about our lives and everything. My brother wound up leaving St. Louis, and he went to Utah. So I was like, I'm glad, and I'm so proud of him today, because he is an amazing individual.
What's he doing now?
He has his own photography business.
Wow.
He just got a new job. I don't know. He was an IT for Walmart.
Oh, okay.
But I know he just started a new job. I don't know what it is like directly, but I know it's better paying, better everything. So
good for him.
I know I'm proud of you, man.
What's his name?
Samuel.
Samuel.
Yeah,
that's great.
Samuel. So
so you spent a couple of months in jail.
I did, and in St. Louis, it's different.
Oh, is that right?
It's different. I've seen people get attacked in their sleep.
Oh, Lord.
I've seen people get hit with, they have this thing with socks where they put like soap bars, anything
heavy,
hard, of use. I've seen people get their eyes knocked out, jaws broken.
Oh, Lord.
I seen somebody literally get knocked out standing up. He got hit so hard that he just fell backwards. I was like, my God. But luckily, God kept me from all of that. Every situation that I've been in, God has protected me.
Yes.
And when I gave my life over to Christ, it was the best thing that I could ever do.
Yes.
It was the best thing that I could ever do.
Tell us about the experience. Did you have a Holy Spirit experience, or
I did.
What happened?
I did.
Wow.
It was a wave of emotion.
Really?
It was like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
I know the music is all fine. When the music is going, you think you're feeling it.
Yeah.
It was nothing like that. It
Much
felt
stronger.
felt like there was a fire in my belly.
Yeah.
That just spread all over my body, from my feet to my legs to my stomach to my chest to my arms, my hands. I was so hot. All I could do was run. It was crazy. I wind up getting baptized in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. It was amazing. I started speaking in tongues.
Did you really?
I did.
Like right away. Wow.
I did. It wasn't perfect. It was like, like a baby trying to first talk.
Sure.
So it was, I had to keep at it, and I was able to talk to God. Like,
Wow.
It was amazing.
Wow.
It was definitely
Now,
amazing.
the Bible says pray continually, you know,
Yes.
and I always wondered what that meant. But the conclusion I came to was not you got to get down on your knees and pray all day long, but you talk to God.
Yeah.
You know, every day you got something to say to him. Do you have that kind of experience?
Yeah. I when I wake up, what's up, God? I talk to him how I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
God knows how me and him interact.
Yeah.
Like when I'm actually praying, it's like I'll pray for my friends, I'll pray for my family, I'll pray for, you know, just people in the world, pray
Sure.
for the homeless, you know, anything that I can do to, you know, just do my part, you know. Like I pray for my wife, I pray for my our unborn child that we're about to have.
Oh,
So,
congratulations.
thank you. So
Yeah.
like I talk to God like I'm talking to you. Like,
Yeah.
what's up, God? Thank you for waking me up. You know, let's get this day started. Let's see what you got in store for me. Let's see who lives I can bless today.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah.
Isn't that really amazing that when you've accepted Christ into your heart, how you become so outwardly focused on them rather than yourself, and not looking at just trying to satisfy your own, you know, fleshly desires and
Yes.
your own ambitions, where it really is serving other people, isn't
Yeah.
it?
And that brings me so much joy. Was when I can bless other people instead of it blessing me, because
Yes.
when I bless other people, it blesses me automatically. So,
Oh yeah.
So I remember doing. I remember going to my other church, Pastor Melrick Borgier at Rock City in St. Louis.
Oh sure, sure.
I was there for 2.5 years, and from the ministry there, it blessed me. From doing churches on the street, where we went out to the homeless, we fed them, we did praise and worship with them, we ministered to them, everything, gave them the word, and to see the lives that were changed, that was blessed, that really blessed me. Like that really, really, really did something to me. And I loved every minute of it. I loved every minute of it until I wind up moving out of St. Louis to Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
where you became a police officer, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. So
when we come back from our break,
Okay.
I want to hear about that.
Yes, sir.
And being of service to others by being a law enforcement officer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a switch from your
That is definitely a switch.
So that proves it can happen, folks.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back with Amonte right after these messages.
So let's talk about love. It's a beautiful fuzzy feeling that makes you forget everything. It's like this heart goes every time you see your favorite person. It sends shivers down your spine and feels like a couple of butterflies in your tummy. It's a gooey, warm feeling, isn't it? But do you know the difference between being in love and real love? Being in love, this little guy, as beautiful as it looks, wants to do things for its own happiness. It wants things that brings him immediate satisfaction. It wants pleasure and intensity to satisfy itself and wants to do the things that captivate only the moment. It's self-seeking. Real love, on the other hand, focuses on the well-being and the growth of the other person. It is patient and sacrifices what's most important to it just to save you because it wants to see you grow. It seeks to deepen this relationship with you based on trust and friendship, a pure act of the heart. Even when you're selfish and wrong, it gives you another chance. like Jesus does. Christ is always around you to shower you with unconditional love in spite of mistakes, and he will never judge you. Jesus joyfully celebrates honesty, and he is a safe place of shelter. He never stops believing and doing what's best for you. That is real love.
Don't worry. Why? Look at the birds in the air. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't.
We are with Amonte drummer Henry. We're going to talk more about his drumming career in a second. But what took you to Oklahoma? That's where we picked up.
Yes, sir. So at the time, I was in a relationship with somebody who lived down there.
Okay.
And I wound up going down there, and the community, it was so loving. It was so embracing.
Oh, is that
and,
right?
Yeah, so I wound up meeting the police chief down there, which is still a good friend of mine's. So I asked him, I was like, how can I become, a police officer here? He gave me all the information. I was like, okay. I did all the requirements, and it was funny because he was an acting police chief, but they had hired another police chief.
Right.
So I was doing ride-alongs. We did a welfare check.
Where you go to see whether somebody's
to see if somebody's alive or not, because their friends was calling, there was no answer and everything. So I was over there with my assistant police chief, my police chief, and it was me. And I wind up. And this is how I got hired. This is how I got hired. So they couldn't get the door open. So they asked me, they was like, Monty, can you get this door open? I was like, yeah, I can. So I turned around and I kicked the door so hard because there was 2 dressers in front of the door, plus a couch. I kicked all of that out the way. They both looked at me and was like,
we need this guy on our team.
They was like, you're hired. I said, well, all right.
That's great.
So yeah, I became a reserve officer at first. And then I did my training. I went to the police academy and did all that, did all the requirements for that. And then the day I got hired, you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me.
I knew it all.
I had the biggest grin on my face. I said, this was one of my accomplishments, one of my goals that I wanted to accomplish.
And you figured that was never possible.
I never thought it was going to be possible.
Yeah.
I never thought it was going to be possible. And to come from where I come from.
Oh, yeah.
I never thought I was going to see past 18, let alone 25 or 30.
Yeah.
And I'm 33.
Yeah.
So, and to see that God has kept me through that, from being in a gang to being in and out of jail as a juvenile, to getting my juvenile record sealed.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
To becoming an adult, to becoming a police officer, now becoming a professional musician.
Right.
Just to see the change that God has done in my life.
Incredible.
It's mind-blowing.
Yes.
It's literally mind-blowing.
Yes.
because I never thought I would be sitting here talking to you. I've literally had guns held to my head,
Yes.
trigger pulled, and the gun jammed.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I've been in car accidents. I have been stabbed. I have been shot. I have been all of these things, and God has kept me.
Yeah.
I've had the coronavirus. I had underlying medical conditions, asthma, and he still has kept me.
Yeah.
Where
He's got something
there's
in mind
people,
for you. Yeah.
there's people that taken out like that.
Yeah.
So I really believe that he has a purpose for my life, and I'm here to spread his word and to do his will.
Well, God bless you for that.
So,
yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell me about COVID. Tell me about the experience you had with COVID.
So, oh, yes.
We were talking about it because I had it
Yes,
too.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, back in November, I just came back from Los Angeles. Me and my older brother, and he was coughing, and then all of a sudden, I felt like something wasn't right. I'm like, hold on.
Something running in your chest.
It was like right, and I could feel it. And I was just like, nah, there's something not right here.
Yeah.
So I went home. Tried to go to sleep. I started having, I started having chills. I started having like shakes and started having night sweats, and
I had that.
I was like, yeah. So I told my wife, I'm like, you know what? We need to go take a COVID test. And we went to the one by the Fiesta. The casino.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and I remember they hit the back of my throat, and it was like the worst. I started coughing so bad.
Yeah.
I had tears coming out my eyes, and I was like, yeah, something's not right. So 3 days later, my wife was like, don't panic. Whatever our results are, we're just gonna deal with it.
Wise.
We both came back positive, both of us. And yeah, that was the scariest moment of my life.
Really?
Like I said, I had asthma. And with asthma and the COVID, it attacks your lungs.
It's a respiratory.
It's a respiratory. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was going to take me out, if I was going to pass away in my sleep,
Yeah.
any of that. So when I say I pray, I believe that's the hardest I ever prayed.
Oh, man.
I was praying day and night.
Please, Lord, spare me.
Spare me. Spare me, because I know you have more work for me to do.
Yes.
I know you have more work for me to do.
Yeah.
And he did.
He spared you.
He spared me.
Yeah.
Because I obviously I'm sitting here today.
Yeah.
And he spared my wife.
Yeah.
You know. And
What's your wife's name?
Karen Henry.
Karen Henry. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love you, bad.
That's right.
So
did you really feel a more of a closeness to God when you were in bed with the COVID?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely, because when you're vulnerable like that and you don't have anybody else, nobody in this world, not no doctor, not anything. Yeah, they have the knowledge, but God only has the final say so.
Yes.
Not no doctor, not anybody in this world.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, when God told me he was going to spare me, I was like, thank you.
You knew it was the case.
I knew it. I knew that was the case.
Yeah.
Can nobody else say that?
Yeah.
Nobody else say that.
And
And
you
nobody
said-
take no credit for that, no anything.
Yeah.
No nothing.
And you told me, just like me, you were down for a month.
I was down longer than a month.
Yeah.
I was down for about a month and a half.
Yeah.
We didn't, and to not see our family, to not see our friends, we had to have them drop food off, because we was on the first floor in our balcony. They had to leave it on the edge of our balcony, and then they had to like leave, and then we had to open our door, and then grab the food,
Bring
and
food
then come
in.
in. Yeah,
You and your wife together.
Yeah, we couldn't walk out the door. We were in the house literally for a month and a half, almost 2 months.
Wow.
We didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that was wise.
One, because we didn't want to infect anybody else. Two, you know, yeah, we wanted if anything was going to happen, at least me and her was going to be together.
Yeah.
So.
Did you get vaccinated too?
I got my first shot. Yes.
Oh, did you? Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I got my shots for two reasons. One is the same sort of selfless reason you had. I don't ever want to give it to anybody. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
Oh, no, sir, not at all.
It's a terrible disease, and really, and the other thing, doctors don't know, what's going to work and not going to work, and
exactly.
And this is all guesswork at this point.
Yes, sir.
And I think the wise doctors understand that, and they'll tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's talk about your music.
Yeah.
What are you doing now with your drumming?
So I literally just completed my first tour in a couple of years.
Wow, good.
I went to Alaska with Adam Patterson and the Heavy Hearts.
Oh, okay.
We toured Alaska. And right after I got off tour, I had to drive out to St. Louis because I MD, which is a musical director, a concert for my brother Stefan Urkel.
Oh, okay.
That concert was off the chain. So I've done that. Right now, I'm still playing with Adam. I play with Virtue Sound, which is with my homegirl Zoe Day.
Okay.
Like I said, shout out. I'm professionally managed now. I'm endorsed with Tama Drums, Trexas Cymbals, Evan Drumheads, Roland, Vic Firth, a lot of major companies that's backing me. So
that's big time.
So
that's what a musician always hopes for, to get endorsed.
Yeah.
So you must be very good at it.
Yeah, I've been playing drums since I was 2. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So that's exactly what you want to do the rest of your life? Play drums?
I want to follow in my dad's footsteps. That's that. I've accomplished being in law enforcement, so that's a goal that I've accomplished. That he did. I've accomplished of getting endorsements and being a professional musician. I've accomplished going on tour. I've accomplished of playing behind celebrity gospel artist Jason Nelson.
Wow.
I played behind him. I did his conference.
Yeah.
I have accomplished a lot that from where I was and where I'm at now, it's a totally different me.
And Jesus gets the credit, huh?
All the credit. All the credit.
Totally changed your life.
My life has been changed in more ways that people wouldn't even understand.
Yeah.
They look at me and they see this aura about me, and
I see it. Yeah.
And they just love it.
Yeah.
They're like, how can you walk around with a smile on your face because of God's grace?
Yes.
Because of God. If I tell you the stuff that He has saved me from,
yes,
the stuff that He has blocked,
yes, the
people He has cut off, because He's heard conversations that I didn't.
Right.
So
that's a good thing to learn too.
Yeah.
You can't run with the same crowd.
Oh no.
And be with Jesus.
No.
Because he doesn't run with that crowd.
Lukewarm. No, you can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It's either you're gonna be 2 feet in or 2 feet out. You can't serve two masters. So
yes.
And God is a jealous God, so I don't never want to get on God's bad side. So
a good goal,
you know what I'm saying? So you never want to do that.
That's right, Amonte. We got about 3 minutes left in the show. It's hard to believe this.
Wow,
hour has ripped by, and we've had a great time.
Yes, we did.
That's your camera over here. Okay. Why don't you spend a couple of minutes talking to folks out there, particularly young people who are maybe on the cusp of having a tough life or having a Christ-filled life, and talk to them a little bit about that.
So my advice to you guys is that don't let your past determine your future, because where you're at now is not going to be where you end up. Take it from me. I have been in a gang. I have been in and out of jail. I have done everything under the sun that you can possibly name, to where when I accepted Jesus and Christ as my Lord and Savior, it was total transformation. Now I am a professional musician. I have done law enforcement. I have toured the world. I have seen places that most people don't even see in their lifetime. So it's not hard. All you have to do is just keep God first, respect his commandments, and just try to live your life right. And whatever goals that you set for yourself, just try to accomplish them one goal at a time. Live one day at a time. Don't try to live weeks and months, because it gets too hard like that. But yeah, keep God first.
That's great. We'll see him all in heaven, huh?
Yeah. And I'll meet you there.
That's what I always imagine. That through my work and being on TV and things like that, what I most hope for is when I'm in heaven, there'll be a line, of people thanking. It's not going to be as long as Billy Graham's line.
Oh, right. But you know what I'm most excited about?
What's that?
Is that when we get to heaven, it's going to be nothing but praise.
Yeah,
it's going to be nothing but praise and worship.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, I can't wait to get on the drums up there. I know it's going to be nice.
And a beautiful music. Oh, yeah.
Woo! It gives me chills just talking about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you'll be on the drum set.
Oh, I am.
Thank you. Amonte, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, what a great guest.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Amonte's been a terrific guest. We thank him so much for coming on. And he is definitely the drummer.
Yes,
so Amonte Drummer Henry. Let's take 1 minute. Give people your website address.
Yes. So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Amonte Drummer Henry. My IG Instagram is Amonte_drummer_Henry. You can email me at AmonteDrummerHenry88@gmail.com, or if for bookings, inquiries, you can email my manager, Heidi Wilkinson, 777 at gmail.com. I don't know if I got that right, but
we'll put it up right.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, that's my manager for all bookings, inquiries. You can reach out to her, and yeah, if you want to talk to me personally about just Christ, of what you're going through, of what I've been through, you can reach me on my cell, 702-689-7714.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you.
Wow, what a great guest, and what a great time, and what a great lesson to learn.
Yes.
So, Amonte, thanks again.
Thank you so much.
And as I try to remember to say each and every episode of Las Vegas Tonight, when it comes to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, please walk with him. Yes. God bless you.
What is the Bible? What does it say? Why do people care about it? And what does it have to do with you? Christians claim the Bible was authored by God through human hands to share his story and help us understand who he is. It's a diverse collection of literature, including historical accounts, poetry, stories, and wisdom. It contains mind-blowing adventures like men being thrown into a fire-filled furnace, yet they weren't burned. It speaks of an old man who was lowered into a lion's den, only to be supernaturally protected and not eaten. It also tells the story of a little girl who had died, yet miraculously came back to life. The Bible is one book that contains 66 smaller books. It was written over a period of 1,500 years and authored by over 40 different people that range from shepherds to doctors, scholars, farmers, and kings. Completed 2,000 years ago, historians say it's one of the most reliable books on the planet. Over 10,000 manuscripts have survived the centuries. Compare that to only 235 known manuscripts of Shakespeare's First Folio. There have been over 5 billion copies printed worldwide, making it the most reproduced book in the world. The Bible is divided into two sections, the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament is well known for its early history of the world and insight into life, giving wisdom such as don't murder and love one another. Other sections are a bit racy, such as your breasts are like two fawns, twins of a gazelle. The first 4 books in the New Testament tell the story of Jesus through the perspectives of 4 of his closest friends. The rest of the New Testament is stories and letters revealing what Jesus' closest followers did after his time on earth. God used average people to heal all kinds of diseases and drive out demons. Many of Jesus' followers were killed because they dared to preach his message. Jesus claimed to be the human manifestation of God's unfailing love for humanity and the secret for true inner peace. He gave hope to the hopeless, love to the unloved, and then gave his life to bring never-ending life to everyone who would believe in him. That's where you come in. Beware, reading this book will change you. As you read it, its message of hope will come alive in you. That's what it's designed to do. Why not give it a shot and see for yourself what it says? It just might surprise you.
Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
You've been watching Las Vegas Tonight with your host, Dale Davidson. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of our show. We so appreciate your loyalty to our program. To keep Las Vegas Tonight on the air, please go to our website, vegassaints.org, and click the Donate button. To send a check or money order, please make it out to Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries and mail it to 9030 West Sahara Avenue, Suite 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. To suggest a guest to appear on the show or any other suggestions or questions, write to Dale at dalewdavidson@yahoo.com or call him at 702-480-3989.
Shine, Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
What affects your credit? The answer can be many things. Let's take a look at a few of the most common factors and how they can impact your credit. Credit history. In order to have a credit score, you need to have open and active credit accounts. This gives you the opportunity to build a credit score and get approved for larger purchases such as a car or a home. So it's important to have a responsible record of debt repayment. Available credit and usage. The rule of thumb is to use 30% of your available credit to minimize the impact of debt on your credit score. In other words, the less credit you use, the better. Monthly on-time payments. By making sure your monthly payments are paid on time, you could boost your credit score. Late payments, however, may bring your score down. Errors on your credit report. Check your credit report regularly to make sure it's accurate. If there are any errors or signs of identity theft, report them immediately to the appropriate credit bureau. Applications for credit. If you're applying for credit, filling out several applications in a short amount of time may hurt your credit score. It's ideal to keep the applications to a minimum. However, there is an allowable shopping window for a mortgage. Remember, a good credit score could possibly save you in interest payments. If your credit score needs some improvement, however, consider starting with the basics mentioned here. And when you're ready to buy your dream home, give New American Funding a call. We'll help you find a home loan that works for you and your unique situation.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience